night dinners. Whether you've been dating 4 months or married 40 years, make time once a week to have a special meal with the one you love. And today I'm with my good friend Rhonda Marco. We've known each other for years. And she runs a blog called MyMostRequestedRecipes.com, which if you haven't checked it out, you need to. Not only are the recipes first class, but the stories behind the recipes. So what I want to share with everybody tonight is my first date night dinner recipe. When I was in college, I picked up an issue of GQ magazine at the place I was getting my hair cut. And Rhonda, they had a recipe in there for Fettuccine Alfredo from Alfredo's in Rome, where it originated. And this is like probably the original one-pot Italian meal. It's just fettuccine, butter, cream, and Parmesan cheese. Very simple to make, and that's what we're going to make tonight. Now, what makes tonight's recipe a little more special is I went out of my way to get all the ingredients. Because as you know, you can go to a grocery store and you can buy Parmesan cheese in the green can. That's not Parmesan cheese. I got real Parmesan Reggiano cheese from Italy.
It smells wonderful.
I know, and we've been snacking on it while we've been waiting for the water to boil. It's incredible. I'm surprised there's enough left for the recipe. And Rhonda's going to grate that for me. And I'm really big into the fresh, local scene. And there's a pasta shop in Germantown area of Nashville called Lazzaroli's. And they make the pasta fresh every day. And I will tell you, don't get their frozen pasta. I tried their frozen pasta and it doesn't do it justice. So I got this fresh fettuccine. I wish everybody could see it. Just feel that. It's supple, it's not dried out of a box. And if you've got somebody that's really special and you want to impress them, just spend a few extra bucks on these great ingredients. It's a pittance. I've had $15 Fettuccine Alfredos made with water and Parmesan cheese and reconstituted dry milk. It is well worth the money. So we have brought a pot of water to boil, and this is a really quick recipe. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by melting the butter, because I think the butter is going to need to melt quicker. So I bought Irish butter. The Irish have got a phenomenal reputation for great butter. It's a yellow, I don't know what they feed the cows over there, I guess marigolds, but it's this great yellow hue. And, if you have heart problems, just pretend it's not this, but this is a ½ pound of Irish butter. And I'm going to bring that to melt in a saute pan. And let me turn that up just a little bit more so we can get it melting. The water's boiling, and I'm going to add probably a couple of good, generous pinches of salt. The reason you want to salt the water is pasta has no flavor by itself. So by adding the salt, you're adding a layer of flavor. And if you think about it, Rhonda, what do you cook that isn't layered? Aren't you always layering?
Always.
And that's very important. What's your favorite pasta dish?
My favorite pasta dish would have to be, I think, Fettuccine Alfredo.
No, you're not just saying
I'm
that.
not just saying that. I don't eat it as often as I'd like to, but it is one of my favorites. I also like ravioli.
Have you ever had toasted ravs?
Yes, yes.
That's a big St. Louis thing. And this pasta is only going to take, because it's fresh, 2 or 3 minutes. So it's going to go really quickly. And what I like to do is, I'm sort of a traditionalist when it comes to pasta. I like my pasta al dente, which means to the tooth in Italian. So we're friends here. Probably need 1 more minute. What do you think? Another minute? Now keep in mind, with a lot of recipes you have a base and you can expand. So if you wanted to, we're doing just a very plain traditional fettuccine alfredo. If you wanted to, you could add some Dijon mustard to the sauce and some chicken and broccoli. You could add crab and shrimp. You could add mushrooms, whatever you like. But this is, I treat myself so rarely to this. I just want to enjoy it for what it is. Okay, I think
Americans typically add the grated nutmeg to it.
Right. I have not messed with this recipe except putting higher caliber ingredients in it because the recipe came from Alfredo's where it started. And you can make an Alfredo sauce with a roux, or some people take the butter and then add the Parmesan and reduce it down and make a sauce and the cream. I like this because this is really simple. Anybody that I've ever made this for and has recreated it has just gone on and on about how simple it is and how wonderful it is. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking the noodles and I'm just coating them in the butter. And then in the spirit of homegrown and really good for you, there's a local dairy, Hatchers. I don't know if you've ever had any of their products, but this cow was probably milked a couple of days ago. So I put in a half a pint of cream, and what's going to end up happening is, let me just turn this up a little bit more. The butter and the cream are marrying. And if you think about a sauce that reduces, that's what we're doing here. We're reducing the cream and the butter so it starts to thicken. And you want all that sort of ooey gooey. You see how that's starting to thicken? And can you see that yellow color? I mean, it is just gorgeous.
It doesn't get easier than this.
No, and you can see it's bubbling away, reducing. And then, you know, if you like yours a little thicker, you might not let it reduces. You might reduce it more. And then you're going to grate 8 ounces of fresh Parmesan or Reggiano cheese. Don't skimp here. Don't buy the thing in the plastic bag. If you're going to do it for someone you really care about. And now what I'm doing is I'm incorporating it till everything just comes together. So the cheese is like the binder. Hold on, almost done. Okay, so, and what I like to do is take this like this. You can twirl it around. If you can kind of hold that, I'm going to put this off the stove so it doesn't keep cooking. And the only thing that this dish needs to make it perfect is fresh cracked black pepper. So if you would be my guest.
I'd love to, thank you. Oh, the pasta's so soft.
Oh my God.
Good.
I think Rhonda's going to marry me after she eats this.
Sorry.
It's not only the simplicity of the recipe, but it's the ingredients. The fresh pasta, the Irish butter, the cream from a local dairy, and the Parmesan Reggiano from Italy, freshly grated. It brings it all together. It's like an orchestra in your mouth. If you're not good in the kitchen, this is a recipe anyone can do. This is so simple, and you will impress anybody with that.
You know, if you cooked a pasta that was dried, al dente, it would never give you this kind of a texture. It's delicious.
It's a different mouthfeel. And that's what I say, stay away from the frozen. Get it fresh. And I've made fresh pasta myself. This warrants doing the pasta yourself if you have to, because it's that good. And it's simple. It's the original one-pot Italian meal.
Delicious. And that cheese is so nutty. Delicious.
It's great. Well, thanks for joining me, Rhonda.
Thank you. Thank you for dinner.
My pleasure. So if you want this recipe for Fettuccine Alfredo or some of our other date night dinner recipes, go to datenightdinners.net. And remember, whether you've been dating 4 weeks or been together for 40 years, make time once a month to have a dinner with the one you love.